estuary hunt, and I've just seen a really nice piece. Look at this. It's a little heron. It's broken in just the right place there. A little heron, very appropriately, feeding in the mud of the River Thames. It's funny, I found another heron actually in this same spot a few months ago. So pretty. There's a bottle down here. It is broken unfortunately, but it does have something pretty cool on it, and I love looking these up, these cures. Now what's this one? Patent Effervescing Lozenges by Cooper's. I shall take that. Let's see what we can find out about Cooper's Effervescing Lozenges. Let's see what David's found. What have you got, David? David's doing his pipe dance. Woo! Let's see. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
Voila!
Oh, nice one. Oh, that's nice. Look at that. It's a little beaut. Well done, David. Congratulations.
Ah.
It's a nice Victorian pipe. I want to show you what I just found. I turned this over hoping there might be a nice design on it, and there is. There is, look, under here there is definitely a little scene. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this home, and I've got a few of these. I'm going to paint the edges, maybe blue or gold or something, and then they'll make perfect little sort of things to put on the table to, I don't know, put things on. Yeah, under here there is a lovely scene. It's always exciting wiping the mud off to see what there is. Okay, stay tuned for the clean-up. Oh wow, look at that. Isn't that lovely? Now what is he doing? Now that little boy or girl looks as if they are wading around in the mud as well. Art imitating life. Oh my goodness, do you know what I've seen over here? It looks like a beautiful bottle. Okay, oh look at that! It is broken, but, this is stunning. This is absolutely stunning. This is like a mallet bottle. Yeah, I'll have to find out exactly the right name for it, but this is absolutely gorgeous. Shame it's a bit broken, but this is beautiful, even though it's broken. Wow. Woo! Right, the tide's coming in. I'm going to start moving before it covers me up, but wow, this is a beaut. Absolute beaut. Having just found a very, very old mallet bottle, over here, washed up, is a bottle, and it looks like it could have a message in it. So let's go and take a look. It's so funny because I was just saying that I hadn't found one for, well, a couple of weeks actually, because I found one a couple of weeks ago. But before that, I hadn't found any messages for a while. Yes, this looks like a message. Question is, will we be able to read it? Sometimes when people write in pen, the sun bleaches the writing. Well, we'll soon find out. We'll go back to your boat, David, and see what is in here. Oh, I hope we'll be able to read it. Exciting. Well, we're back on the Hector Read now. I've got the message in a bottle and Richie is here. Hey, Richie. Hello. Say hello to everybody. Are you having a nice day? Hey? Yes? Richie, are you a happy cat? Richie, what have you got to say about it all? Hey? Say hello to everybody. You're a funny puss, aren't you?
She's obsessed with food.
You're obsessed with food. Oh, she's dribbling.
Yeah, that's good.
Richie? Oh, so when David's got his cup of tea, he's going to film me opening this bottle. What are we going to find inside?
Go on, puss.
That is the question.
Ouch! Down.
Oop.
Ow.
Hey, Richie, come and talk to me. Richie, should I open the bottle? Do you think I should do it now? Really? What do you think it's going to say? Yeah, I think you're right. Hi everyone, how are you doing? Thank you very much for watching my video. You may think it's a bit short, but don't worry, there's more to come. I'm sort of doing a little bit of a hodgepodge of things today. But anyway, I hope you're all well, that wherever you are in the world, that all is well with you, that you're in good spirits and in good health, and that February is starting off very well for you. Well, if you understand cat, you will have understood that Richie was saying that I should read the message in a bottle after I have shown you my spectacular bottle, which I found in that video there. And so of course that's what I'm going to do, and I'll show you one or two other little things as well. So what a find. I've got to be honest, I didn't film that much that day because I don't know, sometimes it's nice to go out and not do any filming, but I'm certainly glad I had my camera because that bottle, this one here, is an absolutely wonderful find, and it's a beautiful addition to my growing collection of old bottles. Now, as you saw, it is slightly broken. There's a hole there, but you know, it really doesn't matter because if I put it like this, if I've got it on my shelf or on my dresser behind me like this, you wouldn't even know, would you? So it's absolutely beautiful. I love the fact that it has the cork in it still. It is a mallet bottle. And I'd like to say a big thank you to my friend and fellow mudlark, Steve Camp, who advised me that the style, and particularly the neck there, indicates that the bottle dates to around about 1750, 1760. So look at that. It's extraordinary, isn't it? That something so very delicate, that the glass is so thin, can last for such a long time in the tides of the Thames. It's got a very big punt there, that kick up on the bottom, and would have held wine and would have been on the table of some tavern years and years ago. And it's funny to think the last person who touched it probably put that cork back in there, and it's still there. It's absolutely brilliant. And I've been so lucky with bottles over the years. Last year I found an extraordinary onion bottle, and also the year before. So this really sort of adds to that collection. So this one dates 1750, 1760s-ish. And I'm going to place it carefully down. The next one down, it's sibling here, dates to about 1720. I've got to be quite careful because the this sort of stuff here sort of peels off, so I don't want to touch it too much. But this one dates to about 1720. And this would also have held wine or maybe brandy You see there, that sort of punt at the bottom as well. It would have held probably a large glass of whatever it did hold, because this is actually a half-sized onion bottle. 1720. And then, last but not least, the little brother or little sister is this stunning little baby onion, which dates to about 1690. So together, all three of them make a perfect family. So I'm getting quite a good collection now of these wonderful old bottles, and each time I always think it's quite funny, the people who lost them or who threw them away would never imagine how excited people would get hundreds of years later to find their old discarded bottles. I wonder if we'll be able to say the same about the people who find our discarded plastic bottles. Maybe not, unless they've got a message in them. But we'll come back to that in a minute. Talking about the shape of the bottles, I've got this excellent book here, which is actually artifacts of colonial America. It was gifted to me by my friend Richard. So Richard, thank you so much for giving me this. It's actually extremely helpful. It was written by Ivor Noel Hume, who also wrote Treasures of the Thames, or Treasure in the Thames, something like that. I also have that book. It's just brilliant. He was an archaeologist, but he has got here a lot of diagrams of bottles that can help to date these mallet bottles and onion bottles because of the shape. Now, I've been looking at them, and to be honest, after a while, they all start to look the same. So it was very useful to have Steve confirm that the one I found is indeed from 1750 to 1760. So, excellent find. I'm so happy. I just love old bottles. And this book is really good, by the way. If you get a chance to get hold of the copy, I'd highly recommend it. It's got so much information in there about objects that are not only found in colonial America, but also in the River Thames and over here in the UK. So the other little objects I found, this here, you may have noticed that I said this was a heron. I thought it was a heron, but it's more likely to be a crane, I've been told. So there is a little crane. Crane or heron, it's rather beautiful, isn't it? Here we've got the Cooper's effervescing lozenges, and I did find an article dating from about 1873, which explains that they are to be put on the tongue. And of course, we have to have a clay pipe as well. And this is a really nice clay pipe which dates to the mid-19th century, 1840s-ish, 1850s. Really nice clay pipe. And of course, it's always amazing as well that these survive for so long when you think that they're being buffeted around in the River Thames for all those hundreds of years. And last but not least, I'm going to show you this little platter here and the beautiful pattern that was revealed. It's always exciting taking the mud off. And here we have this pattern here. Now, I'm not quite sure what that pattern is called, but I do have an excellent book over there, Chinoiserie, Printed British Ceramics by Halliday and Zeller. And I'm sure that if I look in their book, I may come across something very, very similar or even the same design. So I shall be looking in there later on. But what I did was I painted around the edge in gold paint here and along the sort of edges here. And it's just really transformed it into something that I can use and put on the table. Maybe to place hot pans or, I don't know, some little starters or something on the top. What do you think? So those are the extent of the finds from that outing. My favourite is, no prizes for guessing, the beautiful bottle. Just another look. Before we skip forward a few hundred years and go and look at the message in a bottle. which I shall now read back in the wheelhouse of the Hector Reed on David's tugboat. David, please could you film me opening this message in a bottle?
Certainly.
Thank you very much. I shall hand you the camera. Right.
I'll stand here next to Ricky. Puss, puss.
Move the
Okay.
biscuits out of the way.
Yeah. Move the biscuits out the way.
Okay, right, so there you are.
Okay, so are you looking at me? Can
No.
you see me?
No.
Okay, do you want to position the camera? Actually, let me turn this around so I can see me.
What's the point then? No, can I tell if I'm seeing you or
Oh,
not?
okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
you are centre.
All right.
It's ever so dark though, Nick. Your silhouette
Oh, is it?
Yeah. You have to be this side, I think. Because the light, you're
Shall I
silhouetted
go
against...
there? No?
Just
Over
where
here?
you were silhouetted against it. Was like, oh, that's better. Yeah, we'll see. Beautiful.
Okay, so this is better, is it?
Perfect now.
Right, so look, a message in a bottle. Again, this is the second one that I have found in about 3 weeks. So we're on a little message in a bottle roll. So let's see what it says. I hope it says something. Woo-hoo-hoo. I'm not going to get it out now. Oh, no. That's not as easy as I thought. Oh, no, here we go. Feels a little bit damp. Now, let's just hope that it's written in something that hasn't faded in the sunlight, or indeed, let's just hope there's... Oh, no, there is. Oh, it's there. It's there, it's there, it's there. Look, it's there. So, what's it going to say? All right. Now, this was... No way, that's so weird. This was written on the 25th of December 2020. I thought that it was going to be a lot more recent than that. So, by Chippy, every eels leave the European rivers to travel, an epic migration to the Sargasso Sea in the North Atlantic to breed, for a single time to die, although this final destination has long been suspected until now. There has been no direct evidence by now, but by fitting eels with satellite tags, researchers have tracked the creatures on their final leg of the route. So roll on march when they come back as jelly eel, go down well if cooked right, and my best eel was a 4 pound 9 ounce on garden warm, dug from my garden as I live in Gravesend now, and fish by the red boat most days after work, and cannot be more happy today. Always and forever in my heart, the love of fishing. Well, that was a bit of a stream of consciousness, I think. A very strange message in a bottle.
And no contact details.
No, and apparently written on the 25th of December 2020. There we are. Make of that what you will. Well, it has to be said that that is definitely one of the more obscure messages in bottles that I have found over the years. And I have found now well over 130 messages during mudlarking outings to the Thames and the River Medway and elsewhere. And it's always a joy to find them. This one written by Chippy, a little bit of a stream of consciousness, all about eels and how he likes to eat them, but he also goes into details about where they migrate, etc. So, yeah, very interesting. I wonder what led him to write this. Who knows? Maybe he's doing a project about eels or something. I'm not convinced that it was written in 2020 because it's in very, very good condition. It's not damp at all, and the writing just looks a little bit too new. If it had been in the river for over 3 years, then I think the ink would have been a little more faded. But anyway, it's a great addition to my message in a bottle collection. And I must try and do a video about some of them at some point. I have now found some, very, very interesting, very touching, very moving, very diverse collection. Well, as you know, if you were watching my video for the last couple of weeks, you'll have seen that I also found very recently a beautiful message from Lorraine regarding her father. So I have a good collection I'd like to share with you. So I will put that on my list. So anyway, talking about eels, jellied eels, eating eels and things from the River Thames, I'm now going to share something with you, which I've wanted to share with you for a little while. It's an outing that I did on the Thames Estuary, with a couple of very good friends of mine. I hope that you enjoy it. Hi everyone, today I am here at North Greenwich waiting for some very special guests to arrive on the Clipper. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning and it's a beautiful day in October. This is the way to travel, guys. If you come to London, jump on a boat, you get to see all the sights. It's very sophisticated. You can have a tea or a coffee. And on a day like today, it's perfect. Just look at it. These are two of my oldest, and I mean oldest, friends. Hello. Hello, girls. Well, look at this beautiful day. Isn't it amazing? Isn't it incredible?
Thank you.
Well, these are my greatest friends, Emma and Sonia, but I'm going to introduce you to them properly later and you'll find out what amazing surprises we have in store. So let's get going.
Fabulous.
Right, so here we are. We have reached our destination and I'm with Emma and Sonia.
Hi.
Me and these wonderful girls, we go back quite a way. At one time, we all worked in a bakery together in Cornwall when we were, how old were we then? What?
16?
16, yeah. 17. We used to both, well, all three of us used to be there with the little hats on, little aprons, selling
Yes.
Chelsea buns to people.
And pasties, of course.
Pasties.
Pasties, yeah. So I'm going to be doing some cooking on the beach for you using my little coal cast iron cooker, which is from India, and we're going to be making some nice food which I'll talk you through a little bit later. So this stove is widely used in India where they sell street food and they prepare the food in the street and they sell it. You can obviously get much bigger ones. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's really heavy. It's a big iron stove, and they call it the rocket stove, and it heats up really quickly and produces a lot of heat, and then you can put either a grill pan on there or a wok. So it's great for barbecues, camping, and they're quite sought after. I'm cooking salmon today, and did you know there was 125 different species of fish in the River Thames? The most common actually being sole, but today we're going to be cooking salmon. There is also an abundance of salmon in the Thames as well. I'm hoping to get the skin really nice and crispy, and with that we are going to have sammphire, some lovely sammphire to go with that, which I'm going to saute in butter. And sammphire grows around the Thames, in the marshes of the Thames. The season is between July and September. It's a delicious vegetable, very high in calcium, vitamins A, B, C, potassium and magnesium. And then I've made a really nice dressing. This is a very lemony and garlicky dressing, and I've also added some strands of saffron to that. So that's been marinating overnight so that we get the lovely yellow colour of the saffron, which goes beautifully with the salmon. And then we're going to have some lovely whole grain sourdough and some aged balsamic vinegar and some gorgeous olive oil, which is from Crete. And this is a particularly nice organic olive oil favoured by a lot of the top chefs, including Nigella Lawson. It's very high in polyphenols, which is an incredible antioxidant, and that's because they handpick the olives as they're changing from green to black, and because the olives are quite young, they're very, very rich in antioxidants. And the way to tell that is that the olive oil is slightly peppery at the back of your throat when you eat it, and the idea is we're going to dip the nice whole grain sourdough into the vinegar, and the olive oil, and it will go beautifully with the salmon, with the lovely lemon and saffron and garlic dressing, which cuts through the oily fish beautifully. So,
Oh my goodness. What do you think of that, Emma?
Excellent. Roll on with the lovely, delicious salmon. Looking forward.
I'm going to get the skin nice and crispy. Look at that, lovely. I'm going to put a nice little bit of seasoning on there. So I've just got some freshly ground black pepper here and some sea salt, which I ground this morning. Just throw that on a little bit. There we go.
You're going to have to come mudlarking with me more often, Son.
I'd love to. I tell you what, you do the mudlarking and I'll do the food.
Great
How'd that
bargain.
sound?
Perfect.
And Emma makes the perfect assistant, I think. Because I'm the
You are.
bag carrier expert. Emma carried all the bags, bless her. So,
Brilliant. So I'm definitely looking forward to my salmon.
now just turn this piece over, and look, that's lovely. We've got the gorgeous crispy skin there, which is going to be delicious. So we're not going to overcook the salmon. We're just going to, it doesn't matter if it's slightly sort of pink in the middle. You don't want it to be too overcooked, otherwise it goes not rubbery, but it's much nicer if it's lightly cooked. I might just add a tiny bit more seasoning to that. So, and then that's, it looks like it's ashes, but it's not. It is salt and pepper. There we go. Emma, would you like to take it on as we get the plates out? So luckily I brought this cloth with me, otherwise we'd end up with sand all over our salmon.
Oh no, that's wonderful.
So no.
Sandy salmon.
Sandy salmon indeed. So here we have the samphire. So what I want to do is, as soon as the salmon is ready, I'm going to put it on the plate, and then we're going to cook the samphire in some butter.
Oh wow.
And then just toss that around a little bit, and then we can eat our delicious lunch.
The salmon is going onto the plate.
Now Nicola wants hers to cook a little
Tiny,
bit
just a
longer.
tiny bit
Can I
longer.
check it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, you want yours a bit longer. So whilst her salmon's cooking in there, Nicola, I'm going to put some butter in here. A nice bit of butter.
Oh, look at that
delicious.
sizzling. Ooh.
Give that to my lovely assistant Emma.
Yeah, thank you.
And
I'll
as
take
that
that.
melts, we're going to put the samphire. Now look at that, that's beautiful. Nice
Oh,
and
look
green.
at this.
Wow, and it's quite, and it's crispy, so you can eat it raw. Have a little piece. And it's got a really crispy texture to it, and it's salty. It's absolutely delicious.
And what did you say is in it that's good for us?
So, calcium, potassium, magnesium, vitamins A, B and C. So we've got a really healthy lunch here. So we've got our omega-3 in our salmon, highly nutritious samphire, and then this is my delicious dressing that I made last night, which is the high polyphenol olive oil from Greece, lemon juice, garlic and saffron. So it's got that gorgeous orange colour. So again, that's extremely healthy. And then we have some nice whole grain sourdough here, which we will, yep, then I'll get that out.
Look at that. Oh, look at that bread. Did you make it, Sonia?
I can't claim to have made that, I'm afraid. My oven at home isn't hot enough, but that's a lovely whole grain sourdough. And of course, sourdough is all the rage at the moment because of the sourdough culture, which is extremely good for gut health. Okay, so I think we're practically ready, aren't we? Should we dish up? Yes. So Nicola, there's your lovely bit of samphire.
Oh,
And what I'm going to do is then pour the delicious dressing. You might want to have a, I can get the lid open. There we go. So look at that, it's a lovely
Oh,
orange
look,
colour. I'm just
that
going to whiz that round, and it's got a wonderful saffron smell to it. There you go, my dear. Okay, now tuck in.
Nicola, there you go. Look at that.
Look at this, everyone.
Wow.
Look at that. I don't think I've ever had such a gourmet, delicious treat served up to me on the Thames before.
Fabulous.
Put that down there for a second, and then you can have some of this gorgeous dressing.
I would certainly love to have
There
some
we
of
are.
that. Oh,
Okay.
beautiful.
And that's on mine now. Wonderful. And then if you want, we've got some lovely olive oil, beautiful balsamic, and a delicious loaf of bread. So we're going to chuck in now, and we'll be back to show you dessert.
Right, a little something to accompany our... I shall retrieve the cork in a minute.
Make sure you do. No litter, Nicola.
Absolutely not, no way. So, cheers girls.
Cheers.
Cheers, cheers.
Cheers, chin chin.
Right, so what's the verdict, Emma?
It's absolutely delicious. I love salmon cooked like this. The dressing is light and delicious. It's very, very tasty, and I love sammphire. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it.
Right, I'm now going to try this sumptuous salmon with sammphire and saffron. Wow, that's quite a tongue twister actually. And saffron, that's really expensive, isn't it?
Nicola, it is actually the most expensive spice in the world.
The most expensive spice in the world.
Supposedly, originally from Iran, I believe. This one is actually from Spain. I bought it on Amazon. But you know, only the best for you, my dear.
Well, actually, the last time I went to Iran, I brought some saffron back, and I gave some to you, didn't I?
I recall.
Son?
Yes, I do remember. Yeah.
And of course, it was much cheaper than what we have to pay for in the UK.
Well, I can tell you, everyone, this meal in the pop-up Thames kitchen with Gourmet Chef Sonia is absolutely 100% wonderful. Thank you so much.
And my pleasure. Thank you very much for inviting me.
And what is Sonia doing over here?
Well,
Son, tell us
this
all.
this is actually croissant dough. Now, don't laugh because this is delicious. So this is croissant dough.
Yeah.
It is out of a can.
Nicola, do you want the piece?
Oh, yes, please.
And we've got some fabulous balsamic vinegar and olive oil.
Sonia, explain to me what you're doing there.
Right, okay, so I'm wrapping croissant dough around wooden spoons, as you do on a Sunday afternoon by the Thames.
Oh, and they, first of all, are going to be then cooked on the stove, nice and crispy, and then dipped in marmalade.
And cream.
This remains to be seen.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm keen to get this started because we seem to have run out of coal. So I'm keen to get this started so that we are able to cook them. So I'm going to remove that pan there and I'm going to just hold that over there.
Okay, right.
And it's still fairly hot, so let's hope we can get these cooked. I might hold a few of them whilst you eat the bread.
I'm dipping this lovely bread into this fabulous olive oil. Look at this.
Oh, this is this absolutely mega super
Mega healthy
oil.
super olive oil. So it's actually called liquid gold. I don't know if I'm allowed to
Liquid
advertise.
gold.
And it's favoured by Nigella Lawson. And can you get that peppery taste in the back of your throat, Emma? It's really nice, isn't it? So I love that sort of olive oil. Olive oil is supposed to be amazingly good for you. If it's good olive oil, obviously.
Yeah.
And Greece makes some fabulous olive oils. And you do pay a premium price for them, but it's definitely worth it. But look, these are cooking beautifully.
Oh,
so look at that. So they're puffing up slightly.
Croissants wrapped around wooden spoons.
Oh,
Everybody,
yeah. So
have
this
you
is
ever
really
heard of this before?
This is incredibly easy to do, and I obviously bought the mix that you typically buy in a can, and yeah, it's just really easy and it's
so
great
original.
fun.
I've never heard of this before.
You could do things like put chocolate drops in there, although they'll probably melt. Cooking is such a lovely hobby. I mean, we all need to eat, and as I say, in this country we have such an abundance of wonderful ingredients, and taking advantage of food that's in season, and you know, making it fairly simple. And it's great. I love entertaining, so having dinner parties, and it's a brilliant opportunity to bring everyone together. I always sort of have a bit of a debrief after a dinner party with my partner and children to ask how well it went and how we could do it better next time. I'm a little bit obsessed, really. But no, I just think, and I love feeding people and bringing people together. So, well, these smell gorgeous, don't they? So
Really nice.
So you can see the dough is puffed up nicely, and we're just going to pull them off the sticks, like so. Okay. And we are just going to...
Oh, and this is the homemade.
Seville orange, thickly cut marmalade. So we're just going to chuck some of these on there. There we go. Be generous with it. And we're all going to dig in and pull these apart, and then we're going to put this really disgusting squirty cream, which my kids love, on top.
Oh my
and there you have it.
Oh, wow.
So I think we just all just chuck in, girls.
So creamy croissants, here we go.
Creamy croissants, yeah. Oh, that looks so naughty.
Honestly, this. Do you know what? I would never have imagined how delicious this could be.
And we've got loads more. Look at that. Oh my goodness. And a nice big dollop of deliciously homemade Seville orange marmalade.
So we decided to finish, because I was a bit fed up of holding the sticks over the fire, so we decided to put the rest of the dough in a pan, and actually I think this might be even nicer. Look at that, cooking beautifully.
Wow, this is a real thing. This is good. Croissant dough, marmalade, cream. Try it. It will change your world.
Thank you, Nicola. Woohoo. I've no idea what this is going to taste like.
Sonia, you may have to think about setting up your own sort of Thames movable kitchen
Maybe, Nicola. Maybe we can make
business.
it a joint effort, perhaps.
and do gourmet outings along the River Thames.
Delicious. Yeah, very tasty.
Remember, this is the rest of the dough.
Good job we're all skinny, that's all I have to say.
Well, we are at the moment. Look at this. This is about to go in my mouth. Oh my gosh, you know, mudlarking uses up a lot of calories.
Indeed.
Apparently so.
And you can find comfort in the fact that you've had a very nutritious main course.
Absolutely.
you're allowed
And
to
we have got a
indulge.
little bit of a hike to get back to the car
Indeed,
park.
we have, yeah. So anything you eat now is cancelled out by the fish and the samphire and the bread.
I like that. It's cancelled out by the fish
Oh,
and the
absolutely.
samphire.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. It's like if you have a green tea, if you've had loads of chocolate and you drink a green tea, it cancels out the chocolate.
Did you know that, everyone? Okay, this is top tips from Sonia.
Indeed, yeah.
Eat lots of chocolate and cancel it out with green tea.
Absolutely. Has to be done.
You should start a brand, Sonia's Green Tea. It'll be a bit like those quack
Absolutely.
cures from Holloway's ointment.
Well, green tea is supposed to help you lose weight.
Sonia's slimming
And
tips.
saffron as well, apparently.
Oh, is that
Yeah.
right?
I think you'd have to have quite a copious amount.
I was going to say, and then you probably end up poisoning yourself.
Oh,
or
and you'd
something.
end up bankrupt as well.
Absolutely.
But we can try it.
Right, that's it for me. Thank you.
Well, thanks, girls. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you, Nicola.
Thanks for the
We've
Right,
come a
darling.
long way, haven't we, since our bakery days,
Well, we
Bluett's
certainly
Bakery
have.
in
Truro,
Truro with our little shower caps on.
Yes, our little red and white checked shower caps.
Gingham aprons
yeah.
and indeed we have.
Yes.
But we still have a love of food.
We do, we love
So-
our food.
Oh, there's a bit of sand in there.
Nothing like a bit of crunchy sand.
Yeah, you do be careful. I think that's your fault, Nicola, when you swept past my cooker and threw a load of sand in the pan.
Outrageous.
Outrageous, yeah.
So I don't know about you, but I'm now feeling hungry all over again. That was such a fantastic outing. Huge thanks to Sonia and thanks to Emma too. Sonia, who is the veritable Nigella Lawson of the River Thames. And you know, the gourmet outings along the Thames, yeah, that's something to think about, isn't it? I have to tell you that I have been thinking about starting a Thames supper club. It's something I thought about a few years ago, but now it's sort of come to the fore of my mind again, that very occasionally I could do supper clubs with a Thames theme and have them in my studio. Maybe something like once every 3 months or something like that. I could probably only fit in about 8 people. But I'm thinking about it, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, I'll let you know if the project goes any further. Right, well, foraged food. Talking of foraged food, I wanted to mention to you again Northern Wild Harvest. Some of you may have checked out their channel. It's really good. It's one of my recent favourites, where they go out into the wild in Canada and collect wild mushrooms such as morels, puffballs, that kind of thing, and then they show how they dry them. They're staying on a little camp in the middle of nowhere. The scenery is really beautiful, and it's just very relaxing to watch, actually, and I've really been enjoying it. And so I've actually tried some of their morels now. I've got some here, I'm going to show you. In this bag, they're absolutely humongous. Look at these. They smell really nice and peppery. And so I had some not long ago when my mum and my stepdad were over. So I soaked them in water for about 10 minutes and chopped them up and made this absolutely delicious sauce with them. And we thoroughly enjoyed them. So Northern Wild Harvest do sell their morels. So go and check their channel out. They've got an email on there and you could get in touch with them and see how you too could try some of their wonderful fare that they've collected in the middle of nowhere in Canada. I highly recommend them. So I think that, oh yes, by the way, also I forgot to mention, going back to eels, going back to jellied eels, Sonia also had something to say about the eels, because funnily enough, when we were out that day on the Thames Estuary, we spoke about some of the fish that you can get in the Thames, and this is what she had to say about eels. I often come across people fishing in the Thames when I'm mudlarking, and they seem to catch a lot of eels. Now, have you ever cooked eel?
Do you know what, Nicola? No, I have never cooked eel.
Does it appeal to you? Does eel appeal?
I've had smoked eel and it's quite delicious, but I don't think, because I've got a phobia of worms, I don't think I'd like to particularly see an eel because they're a bit slippery and, ooh, no, I don't know. So no, I can't say I have cooked eel before, but...
Well, on that note, on the slippery eel note, I have to admit that myself, I have never tried jellied eels. It's a very typical London dish, jellied eels, but it's something that I have to say doesn't appeal to me either. But I have heard that it's absolutely delicious. So maybe if you're visiting London, you might want to visit one of these old shops, Pie and Mash and jellied eels, and try them out for yourself. And let me know how they are. And maybe you can persuade me to try one too. Well, that's about it for today. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'd like to say thank you to you all for your comments and your feedback and suggestions on my previous videos. A huge thank you to everybody who has donated via my Ko-fi account and via Super Chat. I greatly appreciate it. I hope that your week goes on to be a really excellent one, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon for some more mudlarking adventures on the River Thames or elsewhere. In the meantime, take care, sending you lots of love from London. Bye-bye. So here I am editing a video about foraging and food on the foreshore, and here's a little forager staring at me through the bottles. Now, why aren't you out foraging for nuts? It's not my job. Oh, you are very cute, aren't you? Do you want a nut? Okay, I'll take a little editing break and let's go and give a little bit of foraged food, not foraged by squirrel, to squirrel. Okay, come along with me. And there she is. Are you ready for a nut? You ready for a nut? You can't be bothered to forage today. Here we go. There you are then. There you are. Let's see if she wants another one. Ooh, hungry squirrel. There you go. Another one. Well, as always, have a great week ahead from Squirrel and I. Lots of love from us both.